Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Evan Williams Bourbon inside Studio 3. It's Greg Amsinger with my guys, Harold Reynolds and Dan Plesac. Fans in Atlanta, are they saying, here we go again? Or are they still calm because they have a 3-2 series lead?
They're saying, here we go again.
Oh, they are?
Well, they know what's coming their way. Now, the Dodgers finally let the boys play. They left them alone, Dan, and said, all right, we tried it our way. Go get them.
Yeah, I think this series has been so dominated by matchups for the pitching end, position player end. Let's get the right guys at the right time. This is a 106-win team. You could take that lineup, shake it up, put it in a ball, pull out numbers, and put anybody in that lineup. That's how good this team is, and they showed that tonight.
Oh,
they swung at strikes tonight.
Up and down. They dominated. You want to see highlights of Game 5? We'll show it to you. Again, just like last year's NLCS, Braves with a 3-1 series lead over Dodger Blue. Los Angeles, of course, would win 3 in a row last year, eventually win the World Series. But the Dodgers knew they had to face a nasty left-hander. Max Fried, 8-0 with an ERA under 1.5 in his last 13 starts, facing an opener in Joe Kelly, his first postseason start, since Game 3 of the 2013 World Series. So this is big. We go to the first inning. Albies is already on.
Freddie Freeman rests his head on a pillow made of concrete.
What, did you clear your throat for that?
Did I ever?
He did. He's in full pipe tonight.
He's 6 for his last 9 with 2 home runs after starting the NLCS 0 for 8. Freddie got a smile back. Adam Duvall, that did not look good for Joe Kelly. Trainer's going to come out, and he would exit after 28 pitches. Watching Kelly leave, Dodgers are down by 2. I'm thinking to myself, Braves are ending it tonight. This doesn't look good.
Yeah, and then A.J. Pollock stepped up.
Oh, my.
Hit a missile.
You know, there's certain nights, Harold, when you're watching a lineup and certain hitters, he and Chris Taylor were locked in on every pitch.
I'm telling you, they were dialed in. I'm with you.
You know who else was dialed in? King Albert.
Couldn't put him away. The Dodgers tonight had 11 hits with 2 strikes.
Wow.
11 hits.
Goodness.
That sounded loud.
It was hard to believe how good Max Fried looked in the bottom of the first inning, and then it was like a complete reversal from the second inning to the 5th inning.
Chris Taylor unloads, makes it 3-2. We go bottom 3. It's Pujols again. 0-2 pitch. Oh, it's a thing of beauty.
He hit it like he throwed it, soft, right? But it's a base hit.
And you know the best part of this play? I love the fact Pollock went 1st to 3rd. Go 1st to 3rd, put the pressure on, and look, broken low bat, scores a run because he went 1st to 3rd.
You're absolutely right. And we're thinking at the time, hey, 4-2, that's a big play in the game because Gratterall would get in the game, and my goodness, was he unbelievable.
He was the stopper. 2 innings, 14 pitches, 11 for strikes. Complete, and I mean complete domination.
He broke out that slider and that curveball, but that 102 right there, that ball's moving back in on the right-hander. I was watching him play catch in pregame, and whoever was playing, Clayton Kershaw was watching him throw, and he was like, I'm not getting near this.
They take Fried out, bring in Chris Martin, and he gets to face Chris Taylor.
Taylor in the air to center field. That ball's on the barrel. That ball is deep, and she is gone. Chris Taylor, a 2-run home run. And Game 5 is Chris Taylor's game.
So Martin comes in the game, gets to face Taylor, immediately jumps him. Albert on base again, enjoying the trot. Second home run of the game, 5 RBIs so far. Why do I say that? Because bottom 7, same score. It's number 3 again.
That's deep left center. Chris Taylor. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Chris Taylor. The night of his life.
Yeah, number 3 with 3. First player with 3 home runs in an elimination game in postseason history.
This big blue team tonight, Game 5, they played like they wanted to go to Atlanta. They did not want to go home.
Yeah, they flexed their muscles, didn't they?
They did.
Well, here's an example of it. Now, what do you think of this? 3-0 count in the 8th inning, an 8-2 lead.
I mean, you're the Mr. Baseball player. I don't have a problem with it. As a fan, I'm like, hey, that's cool. He hit another bomb. His second of the night.
Oh.
What do you think?
Smoked it. That's what I think. He crushed it.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into it later.
Sounds like I need to prod. 2 batters later.
Trying to be the first ever to hit 4 home runs in one postseason game.
He had one swing in that AB. Did he foul back? Oh, man, I was hoping he'd catch it. I wanted to see 4.
Of course. He had 4 hits, 4 for 5, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. Dodgers win Game 5, 11-2. Now down just 1 game in this best-of-7 series to the Braves. After this 11-2 victory, Heidi Watney in L.A. caught up with the hero, Chris Taylor.
All right, Chris, 3 home runs. CT3, they were chanting your name. I mean, hitting is supposed to be hard. What got into you tonight?
I don't know. Everything just kind of came together at the right time. Mechanically, I'm in a good spot, so not thinking too much, just trying to hit the ball hard, and it worked out.
You were trying to hit the ball hard in your last at-bat. Were you really going for a 4th?
No, honestly, I can't think hit homers. When I'm up there, I'm just trying to hit line drives, and he's a tough pitcher. He's got that good changeup. It's tough to lay off that one. He made a good one down and in and got me.
What about the guy that hits in front of you tonight, Albert Pujols, and the job that he did?
Yeah, Albert and AJ both. They were on there every time I got up, they did an outstanding job putting pressure on the pitcher, and when that happens, they're more likely to make mistakes.
And your bullpen did a fantastic job. You guys live to fight another day, and you've got Max Scherzer on the bump in Atlanta. You got to be feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Scherzer and Buehler going, so our 2 guys, and we're going to enjoy tomorrow's off day, relax a little bit, and then we're going to be ready to go.
All right, congratulations. Good job tonight.
Thank you.
It's amazing this guy hit 7th in the lineup. That's the first time we've ever seen that in the postseason. Now, Adam Kennedy, he hit 3 home runs in a postseason game for the Angels. He was batting 9th the night he hit 3 home runs. Taylor batting 7th, and then behind him was Bellinger, who had 3 hits. He batted 8th. That's how good this Dodgers team is. But I have to remind myself, Chris Taylor, as good as he is, he did not start in Game 1 in their series against the San Francisco Giants. We're done with that. Please, Dodger Blue. Going forward, if they make it all the way to the World Series, Chris Taylor has earned the right to be in every starting lineup.
Well, if he doesn't do it now, he just got paid for the next seasons to come. He's going to be playing every day, but if they're not here without him. They're just not, because he can do so many things for you. The whole question after the game last night was, what's going to happen now that JT's out of it? This is the middle lineup guy, man. He's a force. He's one of their leaders. Well, Superman, that's who. Da-da-da-da. Time for Chris Taylor. Put him anywhere. Put him there, put him in left field. We've seen this already in this series. We saw this in the postseason against San Francisco. Put him in center. We watched during the regular season. He can play short, even in the ship. No problem. There's Chris Taylor. Put him at second base. I mean, this guy does everything for you. We talk about super utilities getting paid. He's getting paid. And then he walks games off. This guy is so clutch that you look at what he's done in his Dodger career, transforming his swing and becoming the player that he is. He is a true bona fide force. You can put him at the top of the order, which we've seen before, or down at the bottom like we're watching right now. And he can also hit in the middle because he drives in runs. He's got power. He hits for average. He steals bags. He puts pressure on you. And he has great at-bats. That's an 0-2 home run right there. This guy's a super ball player. And I'd love to see him play the rest of the season. In the next couple games in Atlanta, if they play 2 there and on to the World Series. But I'm telling you, next year, we're talking about this class of free agent shortstops. He's going to be knocking at the door, stealing somebody's job. He is. He's going to be playing short.
I love comps for players, and it's hard to find one for Chris Taylor. Getting a chance to hang out with Hunter Pence, who's been working with us lately. If Hunter Pence could play if he wasn't so huge, because he's such a big dude, if he played the infield, if he could play he's a great athlete, but he's so large, had a long arm from the outfield. Chris Taylor's got that kind of herky-jerky, high-energy ability, which, believe it or not, made Hunter Pence one of the statistical most consistent players we've ever seen. Every year you knew what you were getting. I feel like Chris Taylor has proved himself as now not just the bottom rung of this free agent shortstop class, Dan. I think he's in the meat of it because of what Harold just showed us. His ability to play other positions and also be an everyday guy It's special.
He's a very special player, and he was mired in a slump towards the end of the year, Greg. He couldn't buy a base hit the last 5 to 6 weeks of the season. And that's one of the reasons he wasn't in the lineup game 1 against the San Francisco Giants. But he's a survivor. You know what? He's moved around, and it's not an easy thing to do to carry 4 or 5 gloves. Baseball players are all about having a routine. So it's third base, it's hitting 5th, it's hitting 6th, it's hitting 8th. I don't want to hit in front of the pitcher. I don't like hitting at the top of the order. He's a kind of a guy, he brings his lunch pail. Where they pencil him into the lineup, he seems to me, I don't know. We're not there every day, but he accepts who he is. He accepts what they want him to do. And Harold, you made a great point. This 3-home-run game, I go back to a series a couple of years ago against Milwaukee that took the Dodgers to the World Series. He made a great play on a ball that was going to be a double off the bat off of Christian Yelich. If he doesn't make that play, the Brewers are going to the World Series. This guy is a tremendous player. It's hard to get lost when you have Bellinger and Betts and you have that star power, but he's the glue that holds that team together.
Filling a huge void at the hot corner with Justin Turner out for the rest of the postseason. But he wasn't alone, believe it or not. Harold, coming up next, what are we going to talk about?
Well, you've heard about the killer bees. It's time for the killer peas.
Oh, that's after the break.
MLB Tonight is presented by Evan Williams Bourbon.
Keep your head in the game with TV's only off-season morning show dedicated to baseball.
Stove is back. I can't believe it. Yeah!
Join Matt and Harold for the latest off-season trades, free agent signings, and all the buzz that impacts next season.
Yes, yes, yes. Can't wait.
Start the day swinging.
Boom!
All off-season.
This is going to be the best show of our lives.
Hot Stove. Weekday mornings, 9 Eastern, only on MLB Network.
It's over. The Red Sox have won the World Championship.
And a World Series Curly W is in the books.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Evan Williams Bourbon. All right, all 4 teams still playing ball Friday night in Houston. The action's on FS1. TBS will give you Game 6 of the National League Championship Series on Saturday. After that game, Fox will have Red Sox Stros, if necessary, MLB Tonight before and after every postseason game. And we are so excited to be joined by the first baseman of the Los Angeles Dodgers on this night. Albert Pujols joins us on MLB Tonight. Albert, so good to see you. It's Greg Amsinger, Harold Reynolds, and Dan Plesac. I wanted to call you the table setter because you were getting on base. You reached base 3 times tonight. You must have been so excited to show up to the yard. What was your approach against one of the best left-handed starting pitchers in baseball right now, Max Fried?
Well, I think you guys were saying earlier, try to make sure he's elevate the ball and try not to chase ball down in the dirt. I think, the first game we were really excited and we ended up chasing a lot of that slider and breaking ball. And I think today we're making work and we trust our approach. We went through the meeting and talked about what we want to do and we trust it, and I'm glad we had a great success.
With Justin Turner going down in the previous Game 4, that could be a deflating injury, Albert, to a team. Did the guys get together and kind of talk this thing out to make sure they were amped up? Because you guys looked like you were fired up for this game.
Yeah, I mean, JT, he's our captain. He's our leader. I mean, losing Muncy, the last game of the season was tough for us, and now JT. But at the end of the day, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We're going to have to go out there, and trust the guy that we have. I think we have some great players here. Quality, they put quality our bats, and, we know that there's no tomorrow for us. We had to come here and win, and tomorrow's off, and we need to do the same thing on Saturday, hopefully, to push this to Game 7 in Atlanta, where it's going to be really loud. I think, the fans are going to be into, and they have a great ball club, so we have to really trust ourselves and trust the guy that we have here, and then we see at the end of the game.
Hey, Albert, it's Harold here. Great to see you, my friend. Let me ask you this question. When did you feel comfortable and feel like, hey, I'm part of the Dodger organization and part of this team? When did that happen for you?
Right away, as soon as I walk in, the day that I signed, and I came into the ballpark. As soon as I saw JT, Muncy, then DP, the way that they embraced me, right away I felt like I belong here. That's how I felt, like from day one since I got here, because, obviously when you get released like that or get traded during the course of the season and you go to another team, it's really tough, but I think with the guys here, they're really professional, they make me, they believe that I belong here, and I think part of my success of that, I contribute to those guys, they welcome me here.
Well, it looks like, Albert, they really not only respect you and appreciate you, they draw on your knowledge. How often have you been asked how do you face pitchers, what situations? How often does that happen with you?
Every day, we talk. I think, with the experience that we have, I've been in this game for 20 years in the big league, 21 as a professional. I played with so many great players in my career. And, I've been in the situation before. So I think, that's the best thing about this organization and this ball club. There's no ego here. Everybody's helping each other out. AJ and I, we always talk about, CT today with a big night, JT, Muncy, all the guys, we're helping each other out. And I think, I said it earlier when I signed here, for 20 years coming on the other side, just how those guys do. And now I get a taste, why they had the success that they have, and it's because, they make people welcome here, and then the game plan that they have, from the top all the way to the bottom, and it's unbelievable,
Albert, it's Dan. Fair to say, watching this game tonight, that the Los Angeles Dodgers wanted to do everything they could to force a Game 6 and get on a plane and go to Atlanta.
Yeah. As you know, that's what we want to do. There's no tomorrow. We knew that there was no tomorrow for us. We had to win tonight. And, we flipped the page, day off tomorrow, and we need to do the same thing on Saturday. I think we got our right guys lined up, but at the end of the day, how this game is. We have to go out there. It's going to be loud. We have to jump right away, score some runs, and hopefully Max, feel comfortable and bring his A game like he always does, and give us another chance, for Walker Buehler, hopefully, to give us a Game 7 on Sunday.
So you pulled Chris Taylor aside, and you're like, look, let me show you how to hit 3 home runs in a postseason game. Did he execute it perfectly tonight?
I call Chris Taylor the secret weapon. He's a clutch guy. This guy is unbelievable. He's a professional hitter. He knows what he wants to do at the plate. And, every time he swings the bat, if he make contact, he's going to do something special. And not just that, the way that he plays defense also, playing left field, center field, second base, third base, you put him anywhere. And it's really special, those guys, they worth everything, and I think CT today have a great night and, help us to win another game and push it to Game 6.
I remember when Albert was playing left field, third base tonight. Nice play at first base.
We'll be showing that as well. At first with the flip.
That was nice, Albert. We didn't miss that. Albert, thank you so much for your time. What a treat to talk to you. And keep swinging it, okay?
Thank you, guys. God bless you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, we enjoyed that. That was fun. Most recent 3-homer postseason games. That's why I asked him the question. You see Albert's on the right side of the screen.
Well, they're all playing except for Pablo Sandoval. Look at that. Look at that list.
But Pablo Sandoval was traded for Eddie Rosario. So Pablo does have an impact on this postseason. Everyone's relevant. All right, so Harold, we were going to break, and then we got a chance to interview Albert Pujols. Going to break, you said, you've heard of the killer bees, as in boy, well, as in Berkman, Biggio, and Bagwell.
Yes, yeah.
But what you wanted to talk about who?
Killer peas. The Dodgers peas. Well, let's just go to the tape. The graphics kind of cool. Check it out. All right, here's the killer peas. You got Pollock, Phillips, and Pujols. Let's start with Albert. Hey, tonight, 3-2 count. Hits a slider for a base hit. This starts a rally. This is what we're talking about. Get on base, Albert. Boom, home run from Taylor. All right, so that's 2 runs produced right there. Let's keep it going, Albert. 0-2. Not many power hitters are going to stay with that ball, flip it to right field, and get a base hit. But I love Pollock, one of my P's. I'll get to him in a second. Go first to third, forcing the action. That opens things up because then they score on Taylor's little broken bat single right here. The blooper falls in. So the P's are doing the things. All right, we're not done yet. How about Albert making this play? This was a throwback. Look, that is pretty, man. That was a pretty sweep. Now he walks late in the game. And again, this guy just had an unbelievable night. But Albert was, as you said, started the show, a table setter.
He was.
All right, we're done with him. We'll move on. Pollock! Boom. How about the home run from him to get things going early for the Dodgers? And then this. Look, they gave him 4 years, $55 million. This guy was a Gold Glove center fielder. he can play some baseball. And he's really had a pretty nice run with the Dodgers. Had some injuries, but he's had a pretty good run. So that's another piece. And then this one, after he gets hurt, Kelly leaves the game, and you go, oh, what's going to happen now? They bring in Phillips. And I thought at this point in time, Dan, this is a huge move because the Braves were threatening. He shut down their offense. He had three. He got that pop-up to Jock Peterson there to end that inning. But he had 3 Ks in a little bit of stint that he came in, and it really settled things down and allowed the Dodger offense to take over, and that was the turning point of the game. So the Killer Peas did their thing. Look at those numbers they threw up. 5.
It's crazy. The bottom of the order was so good. We didn't even really talk about the fact that Trey Turner had his best game of this series with 3 hits towards the top of the order. They didn't need the top of the order. Those guys were so good. I will say this, though. You know, A.J. Pollock, 2 home runs, big night. But he did hit a 3-0 pitch, center cut fastball right down the middle. The score was 8-2. Now, we saw Fernando Tatis Jr. get heat for doing the same thing in a regular season game against the Rangers. Why is this different, or is it the same?
Well, I think it's different because it is the playoffs. And you want to not only put somebody down, you want to cut their head off.
Oh.
You got to win the game.
That's a little
You want to win
gruesome.
games. You know, that's the difference with it. You do not want them to come back. And will there be a conversation on the plane tonight with you, the Braves? Yeah, I might be a little offended. I might be a little upset. But I have to understand.
At least that get you thinking about Max Scherzer as the monster that won't die. So you're still thinking about that? So you're...
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Cut around. Yes.
Game
Stop
of
it.
Thrones.
The pitcher part of me, I have no problem with that tonight. I have none. This is a postseason game. The Dodgers are playing for their life. 8-2. A lot of crazy things can happen. This is a very potent Atlanta Braves. I have no issue with that at all.
If it's
tonight.
May 21st.
Then we got a problem.
You know, there are some games that are 8-2 that feel like it's 20-2.
Wasn't this one of them?
This one felt like that.
This Braves offense, you know what I took from this game? I go back to Game 4. There's always a player in one of these games that, like, wow, where did that come from? Drew Smyly for the Braves, Evan Phillips for the Dodgers in Game 5. Evan Phillips came out of nowhere when they needed some security in that game. He picked up for Joe Kelly. He handed that baton off. He started the first leg of the relay, and he was brilliant.
You know, and you talked on it real quick, Greg. A subtle move with putting Trey Turner and Mookie. I've been calling for this, right?
You have been.
That he was going to get more pitches to hit. He's been hitting third, and he's been struggling. And you put a guy that's been hitting 1 and 2 most of his life in the 3 spot, you get different pitches. So all of a sudden tonight, they let Mookie off, hit Trey second, gets 3 hits, and you hit Seager third. I just thought that little subtle move was also something to jumpstart the lineup. I like what they did tonight.
It feels like they're in the driver's seat, but I have to remind myself we're going back to Atlanta, and the Braves are 1 win away from going to the World Series.
And Greg, this year, they got fans. It'll be different.
Not a neutral site.
Not a neutral site. It's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, time now for your LCS report presented by Loan Depot. Teammates with multi-homer games in postseason history. To see Taylor and A.J. Pollock do it was special. Last time we saw anything similar, it was the Game 2 last year. Tatis and Will Myers. Oh, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig made the list, 1932. We come back. Dan, will you show us the magic of Gratterall?
You better look quick because it gets in there in a hurry. Don't blink.
2 in movement is next.
LCS Report is presented by Loan Depot. Home means everything.
Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Evan Williams Bourbon. Take a look at the Dodgers pitching box score. Joe Kelly out for the rest of the postseason. We've just got that word. That is a major blow because he was nasty throughout this postseason. Phillips was great. Brusdar, Gratterall. Of all of the relievers, let me tell you, Trinan and Knebel and Jansen have been great. Gratterall's just got this extra nasty to him right now. 102 moving. He's got a breaking ball that made Jock Peterson look silly. His stuff might be the best of anyone. You're the reliever, you tell me.
Yeah, right now that Dodger bullpen, that's club nasty right now. They get a lead in the 6th, 7th inning. Gratterall tonight was as dominant as any pitcher we've seen in the postseason of 2021. Very efficient. Just absolutely saws Freddie Freeman. 97-mile-an-hour cutter. So we know he has great seat. Look at the movement on this. As Harold would say, jam. I mean, there isn't anything you could do with that. And then this breaking ball, forget about it. So if you're getting 102 that's running in on your hands, 6 pitches to get through his first inning, watch this sequence to Jock Peterson. You think it's easy to hit? 101. So now you're like, okay, I've got to get my foot down to get ready. Guess what? Howdy. If you're waving at me, you have no chance to hit 80. You have no chance to hit that breaking ball. Throws a good pitch here. He gets Swanson to hit a ground ball. And this last at-bat, Darno, hits this one off the end of the bat, but 6 up, 6 down, 14 pitches, 11 for strikes, total domination. And he has an idea at the plate. Watch this. So he takes strike 1, got a runner on. He lets the runner get into scoring position. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's this guy doing? He's got an idea. He comes out of his shoes. I'm like, this guy might be able to hit. Works this count deep, and I'm like, I think he might be able to do something. He gets the breaking ball, which is the demise of most pitchers that want to hit anyway, but I like, he was dynamite for the Dodgers.
Okay. Walk me through quickly, why did Gratterall hit there? Because he didn't come back out to pitch a third inning. Trinan was ready anyway.
Don't want to burn a position player. You don't know what. You don't want to get.
So wait, it's okay to swing 3-0. You're up 8-2 because you just need every run you can get, right?
Right.
But we've got.
There was a lot of baseball left to be played.
There's 4 runs. You got a 4-run lead.
A lot of baseball.
He's not coming out anyway.
You don't want to burn a position player.
I got a hit for him right there. Honestly, it looks like they weren't expecting Bellinger to get on. Okay? I mean, once he gets on base, I don't know if they weren't expecting him to steal. You got to hit for him. Yes. If you're not going to send the pitcher back up to pitch, you got to hit.
A gapper scores Bellinger because he's so athletic and so fast. That's a run you could get. Made no sense to me.
Yeah. What was the score at the time?
It was 6-2.
6-2, yeah.
It's only 4 runs. Grand Slam still ties it anyway.
Yeah.
Time now for StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. So Dan, maybe you can help us with Max Fried. You couldn't make sense of why Gratterall hit there. I'm still confused by that. But Max Fried, this face says it all. He was a little confused. Why did they hit him so hard? The exit velocity through the roof in Game 5. They were squaring him up. His velocity was good, Dan. Where was he struggling?
He just wasn't as sharp as he's been. After he came off the injured list halfway through the season, he was about as good as it was. You look at the numbers, last 10 starts, probably the best starting pitcher. And it started with a real positive. He's able to get through, throws a good fastball right here. And then he gets out of this first inning like, okay, spotted a 2-0 lead. I thought the Dodgers were in trouble. But this Dodgers team made him work. This is the first bomb that Pollock hits. I thought this at bat right here, Albert Pujols, 3-2 breaking ball. The breaking ball really didn't have a lot of depth to it, but I think the key was the Dodgers made him bring the ball into the strike zone, and they weren't trying to pull everything. They weren't over anxious. They were putting the ball in play. Here's a pitch right here. He was indecisive. The runner took off. He wasn't sure should he throw home or not. His changeup all night, it was a very non-competitive pitch. There weren't enough changeups that were even make a right-handed hitter think about swinging. So he turned into a 2-pitch pitcher. He turned into a fastball slider. He didn't really get the curveball over. And the Dodgers, this was, I felt, the Dodgers' best approach so far in this series. They made him work. They had relentless at-bats, and they didn't have very many empty at-bats.
Yeah, it was almost as if when the ball flew out off the bat of Taylor, that home run to make it 3-2, the atmosphere at Dodger Stadium was like the craziest he had ever experienced. Like, it rattled him to be out there with people jumping up and down and the ballpark vibrating.
He was one of those kids early on growing up in L.A. right there. He grew up a Dodger fan, not too far from the ballpark.
Yeah.
Going to the games yelling himself, but I don't know if the moment overwhelmed him as much as it was their approach. I mean, this stuff was electric, enough to get most lineups out. They just didn't chase off the corners. And I thought Dan hit it so well. This is the first time I've watched a team completely outside of the Houston Astros and maybe the Red Sox, we've seen those offenses do this, shoot the ball the other way. Mm-hmm. And we saw that repeatedly tonight. Left-hand hitters and right-hand hitters. They took what they gave him, what he gave them, and they capitalized on it.
Yeah, and that changeup is key for him, and he didn't have that.
He didn't have it tonight. He needed it against the righties.
Yeah, again, we'll have 4 great pitchers left in this series. When we come back, I got a question. What time is it? Is it time for a break? It is. It is. My goodness, we need to watch the ALCS, don't we? We'll talk about this series next.
StatCast is powered by Google Cloud, the official cloud technology of MLB. MLB Tonight is presented by Evan Williams Bourbon.
Red Sox are down to their final strike. On its way home, and a ground ball right side. Gurriel to the bag, and the Astros take game 5 and lead this best-of-7 series 3-2. They're up in this series, and they have flipped this thing on its head.
And this ballpark's been a real party for the whole season, but there was not a lot to celebrate, cheer about tonight.
Time now for your LCS report presented by Loan Depot. So the pitching matchup, the American League Championship Series Game 6 looks like this. Garcia, the rookie for the Astros, has struggled so far in this series against Nathan Eovaldi, and the Red Sox are really counting on the big right-hander to dominate and force a Game 7. This is what Eovaldi said about the matchup on Thursday.
I'm extremely confident. I mean, everybody's a little frustrated with the way we've been playing lately. We know that's not the way we are capable of playing, and, we know where we're at in the standings and where we're at, everything that's on the line for this game. It's do or die. You're the winner, you go home. So nobody's ready to go home right now, and we're going to be ready to go tomorrow. Every guy in the locker room wants to be able to start tomorrow and be able to be in this situation. And, I'm thankful that, I get to be here and be able to do it. And there's just something about when everything's on the line, and, I think it brings the best out of us.
He was also asked how he feels, because, again, he made a bullpen appearance, and he said he feels great, 100%. But we've heard that before from other starting pitchers, even in this postseason, who say, yeah, I feel great, and then all of a sudden their stuff looks different. Are you concerned that his stuff will look different in this Game 6?
It could. It could affect him the other day, but I'm throwing that off to the side. I don't even think we've seen Eovaldi in this series. I'll show you what I mean. I mean, really doing what he does as a complete arsenal. The man starts off, he's warming up, getting ready, and while he's getting ready, his offense goes to work. And before you know it, they got a grand slam in the first. So it's 4-0 when he comes out to finally get the ball and get started. And so in the first inning, Dan, I want you to watch how he pitches. He gets a ground ball on a fastball. He just went right after Altuve. Here's my fastball, hit it. I got a 4-0 lead. Taylor to Brantley, 4-0 is my fastball, hit it. Bregman, he jams his bat, he gets a base hit. And then he goes after Valdez, after Alvarez, and I thought this was interesting. That was the one changeup he threw to him in that at-bat right there. In 5 pitches, he gets out of that. And so he goes in, he stretches, okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my arsenal next round. What happened? We got another grand slam. Before he gets back out to the mound, it's 8-0. So he goes to the top of the 4th, and Kike hits a home run. It's 9-0, and he hasn't even had to use his pitches yet.
That's interesting.
He hasn't shown them anything. He's just coming out saying, guys, here's my fastball. I got a 9-0 lead. I'm not going to show them anything. Watch this at bat to Bregman. There's 1 fastball, 2 fastball. All right? 3 fastball. I mean, he just continued to pump heaters. He threw 1 breaking ball in this whole sequence. He threw him 6 pitches, and they were all fastballs, except for 1 breaking pitch. All right? So they haven't seen him. Does he really snap one off when the game counts? Does he really pull a good changeup? They haven't really got a chance to tell. The other night he came into a game out of the bullpen, and he's not himself because it's 2 days rest, and he's really coming in late like, oh, we're going to get you in, maybe we can shut things down. So this is my point, that they haven't truly seen his complete arsenal. Again, that's the only breaking ball he threw to this guy and walked him. Other than that, I don't know. So I think there's a little more of an advantage to Nathan Eovaldi going into this game because the Astros really haven't seen his complete
Are you buying that? I like what he's selling there.
It can be very difficult, and Harold touched on a great point. When you have a 9-0 lead, every pitching coach, every manager's like, when you run out there and think, let's go, pump up the strike, fill up the strike zone, no walks, and you get away from, like, the game plan that you had because the score dictates, okay, here, I'm not walking him. Here, you're gonna hit your way on. And you kind of get into a groove sometime where you get away from that game plan, like having to change speeds, move the ball in and out. And he did the right thing. You have to pump and fill up the strike zone, but they're going to see a different Nate Eovaldi.
Well, we marveled at the fact that now he quick pitches. He's got a hesitation. He didn't do any of that. It's like, here it is. Here it is.
Why wouldn't you do that when you have 100 miles an hour in your back pocket? Luis Garcia does not have 100 miles an hour, but this is a rookie that, please don't brand him by the way he's performed this October. Dan, he is in the mix for Rookie of the Year for good reason. 11-8, ERA at 3.3, and he's making these starts at Minute Maid. That's not where pitchers go to thrive. Do you like his chances in a game like this?
I do. And anytime you're a young pitcher, you always have to worry if you're Dusty Baker or you're their pitch coach right now, Brett Strom. You have to worry, are the emotions a big crowd, but the Astros are going back home. I really thought it had an adverse effect on Framber Valdez. His start against the White Sox, his start against the Red Sox, he wasn't himself, and he found it, and he needed to find it in Game 4. He was terrific. And I think if this guy, Garcia, can get back to being the pitcher he was in the regular season, hopefully the knee. Now, he had some issues with that right knee.
Yeah, he did.
If he's feeling well, but I don't think we look at starting pitchers, Harold, the way that we did 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Keep the game in check, get us to the third or fourth inning, and that bullpen, that phone's going to be ringing, and it's going to be a track meet from the dugout to the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, but they're not going to say that on the other side of the National League Championship Series. Oh, no. Game 6 on Saturday, you got Max Scherzer going against Ian Anderson. These two right-handers, we won 6, 7, dare I say 8 innings. We'll talk about this game next.
ALCS Report is presented by Loan Depot. Home means everything.
Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Evan Williams Bourbon.
And it's Jansen here in an 11-2 game. Braves down to their last out. Austin Riley 0 for 3.
And the pitch. Fly ball. Bench going back on the warning track. He's got it. The Dodgers win 11-2. They have survived their 7th consecutive elimination game. Next stop, Atlanta for Game 6 of the National League Championship Series.
We got to win 1 or 2 games. And if we can't, then we don't deserve to be the next, But, I like our chances. You got to play, you got to execute and everything, in order to get out of this. So I like where we're at.
It's playoff baseball. It's a really good team, won a lot of games, and you got to be on top of your game and bring your best to, give your team a chance to win. And, unfortunately, tonight I wasn't as sharp as I needed to be.
It seems like this whole series we've been switching off games here, winning late, they win late. We score a lot yesterday, they score a lot today. It's just kind of how it's been going. It's 2 good teams going at it, and kind of this is what we figured.
We're able to win the first 2 at home, and we've played well there all year, so we're looking forward to getting back to our our houses and everything, and getting rested up for the game.
This is going to be some. Ian Anderson going to face a first ballot Hall of Famer, Max Scherzer. That's what Max is going to be. The guy's on the Hall of Fame highway. But, he said that his arm was a little tired. I'm sure he's not going to say that going into this start. Is it advantage Atlanta when Max Scherzer's been toyed with?
No.
No. You think it's going to be full throttle Max Scherzer?
When the Nationals won the World Series a couple of years ago, this guy's neck was so bad, it was like, is he going to start? We wouldn't know to the day of the game if he was going to start.
Stiff neck.
Nah, forget about it. Expect him to be on point. He may not pitch 9 innings. He may not pitch 7. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You're going to get the best of what he has in Game 6. And my feeling is it's going to be enough that this is going to be a white knuckler going into the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, because this guy will post up. The moment's not too big. Expect him to pitch well. And if I'm a Braves fan, expect him to pitch well.
Uh-oh.
The only thing I worry about, Ian Anderson has a tough time getting out of the first inning. And you're looking at maybe the best top of the half of any lineup in baseball. We start looking at Mookie, Trey Turner, and Seager. They can put pressure on you in a lot of different ways. So that will be the challenge for him. Can I get through that first inning? That's a big thing for him. If he does that, then he's the other side of it. For me, with both pitchers going, that's great. This is a bullpen. The bullpen will decide this from the 5th or 6th inning on. It will be the bullpen that decides this game.
And I think if it turns into a fight of bullpens, from what we've seen in this series right now, I don't want to get in the ring with that Dodgers bullpen
That's what
now.
I was going to argue with you on that.
Oh.
No, the Dodgers bullpen has the edge. It's going to be settled in the pen.
if I'm Brian Snitker, I want Ian Anderson's changeup to be on point.
He needs it.
And I want him cruising as long as he can.
Absolutely. But I'm saying you want them both to go 9. The fact of the matter is, I think that you will get to the bullpen by 5th or 6th inning on both these guys.
The way Gratterall looks, and you got Trinan, and you got Knebel, and Jansen looks awesome right now. It's crazy to think, if you're a fan of the Braves, you're thinking to yourself, we got to get to Max Scherzer.
We have to
score on Max Scherzer.
Win the game by the 5th inning. Have to be leading by the 5th inning. Don't want to be playing catch-up to this Dodgers bullpen. No, that's a recipe for disaster.
I feel like the Dodgers have all the momentum. Is that a weird thing to feel?
No.
They're down 3-2 going to Atlanta.
All the pressure now has swung back on the Braves. This Game 5 was must-win.
Is it a little bit because of last year?
No, it's because you have 2 pitchers going back-to-back. If you're the Braves, you're going to have to get Max Scherzer and Walker Buehler. You're getting their best 2 pitchers back-to-back. That's what makes this so difficult.
It's a weird feeling. I've never felt this way. With a team 1 win away from winning a series, yet I feel like the team that's trailing is in the driver's seat.
The last time I felt like this, 2016, when the Cubs were down 3-1, because their starting pitching was so good against the Indians.
And we talked about it on the air. You're absolutely right. You don't forget anything.
No.
Look at you.
Neither one of you do. I don't do that at all.
Hey, we have a MasterCard on deck. Harold's lost his memory.
I don't even remember Taylor. What did Taylor do tonight?
He hit 3 bombs, Harold.
I thought it was 2.
We're alerted.
Down to their final strike. Down to their final strike.
And the crowd is alive again. Well, maybe it's fitting he has the last shot. There really isn't a whole lot of strategy right about now.
1 strike away.
All right, Dan Plesac, what is your final strike?
There have only been 5 guys in the history of baseball, League Championship Series baseball, to have 3 home runs in 1 game, right? I'm going to tell you who the 5 are. Bob Robertson, 1971, with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
All right.
Okay? Then we're going George Brett, 1978. Turn away, Yankees fans. That's right. Hall of Famer George Brett. Then we're going to go Adam Kennedy, 2002. It seems like it was like yesterday.
No.
Really, Adam Kennedy, 3 bombs. Okay? Kike Hernandez. Dodgers fans are going
into the World Series.
Oh, man. 2017, and then Game 5. Chris Taylor,
Pretty cool.
3 bombs. And he had a chance to hit a 4th in his last at-bat.
That's really cool.
Hey, we were talking about Gratterall, how hard he was throwing. This afternoon, when I was watching the rundown here on the network, caught this. Look at that ball running that he's throwing. Clayton Kershaw was like, are you kidding me? Standing there watching him throw. He's the guy all the way to the left there. Watch him reach back and let that one fly.
Wow,
It was awesome.
Yeah, he had 102 with crazy movement. It was his stuff right now. Of all the pitchers, you have to rank your stuff. I know you love Blake Trinan.
I do.
Maybe this is a segment for Friday or Saturday. Ranking the stuff of the relievers of this postseason right now.
That's pretty good.
I don't know how you have better stuff than what Gratterall is offering at the moment. Look, there was a vibe to this game, and I knew the Dodgers were going to win. I just knew because it felt like a dance party.
Really?
It felt like an LA dance party.
There it is.
And if the Braves are going to get back into it, they need a dance party of their own. Show me what an Atlanta dance party looks like.
Really?
Oh, that's
okay.
That's what an Atlanta dance
wise
party.
guy.
The
Okay.
ATL, the Dirty South, that's all we got.
Okay.
That
All
doesn't
right.
look like a dance party in the ATL.
All right. You know what?
That's rough.
I come up with 5 guys that hit 3 bombs. You throw me under the bus. I'm
I
out.
missed doing shows that.
Over and out.
They should be stopped.
Our coverage of the
Take us home,
postseason
Greg.
never stops. Right here on MLB Network. Come on, Atlanta. You can do better than that.